Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome back to Force Strategy Gaming, and I'm going to be doing some team strategy for you today. I played a ton of StarCraft 2 yesterday, 1v1s, team games, giant team games, all sorts of stuff, so I figured what better time to show you guys some of my play, and then at the same time talk some strategy with you. So here I am. This is one of my alternate accounts, Ekroff, that is forced backwards for the Keen of Eye, and my good buddy here, Tempest, and against us we have Smackacheese as Protoss and Trotz as Protoss. So this is TVP versus PvP, and let's just talk about team games a little bit and what we're going to be looking to do. Basically, what you want to look to do is expose any weaknesses of your opponents, and in doing so, make sure that your builds complement each other. This is going to be the case with any team game. You want to try to make complementary builds that are going to roll over what your opponents are doing. So here we are. I've got myself, the Terran player, and Tempest as the Protoss player, and we're against two Protoss. So what are we thinking here? Well, as for Tempest here, what's good against a Protoss player? Early game, and we decided to do some early game aggression in this game specifically. So early game aggression in PvP, what's good? The Korean 4-gate, that's pretty solid. Now the main weakness of the Korean 4-gate is going to be that you have no ranged units, and of course that you're behind on tech. That's definitely a huge issue. But the strength is, of course, with the early game zealots, that you can kind of roll over their economy, and even with their stalkers, you should have enough zealots because you cut gas so that you will be able to basically just take them out quickly by overwhelming them with numbers. Now, on my half, what are we thinking here? Well, what's good in the TVP matchup? Well, Marauder Heavy is pretty strong, and a 3 racks push is also pretty strong. The main issue in 1v1 games is that many times the 3 racks push is not going to work because of the ramp size. In most 1v1 maps, you've got this one small ramp, and it can be force fielded just by dropping one force field from a sentry. But without that, Marauder Heavy is going to be incredibly strong in the matchup. So what are we thinking? Well, look at this. On lots of team maps, there are not only wide entrances like we can see here for Smackacheese, but at the same time there are back entrances. There are destructible rocks right here. So with that said, if Tempest goes for the Korean 4-gate, he can inflict massive amounts of damage, and I can cover him and also have a strong build in the Marauder Heavy 3 racks, and that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm just going to be going with that basic 3 racks build order, but going to be getting tech labs on all of them and going Marauder Heavy. And Tempest is just going to go for the Korean 4-gate. You can see already he has cut his gas, going to be dropping down his additional gateways right now and chrono boosting out that warp gate research. At the same time, moving around with this probe, he needs to keep this alive as long as possible because his goal is going to be to get pylons inside of his opponent's base, warp in zealots into the mineral line, and stop mining and or kill off workers. And at the exact same time, I'm going to be hitting with a Marauder Heavy build like I mentioned. So yes, in the team games, again, you want to make builds that are going to cover each other and be complementary to each other, and that is exactly what Tempest and I are going to do. So here is the moment of truth right now. You can see Tempest still moving around with this probe. Now, because of the way the timing is going to work, he's going to go straight in, and there is no stalker on the board right now for Smackacheese. He does not have a stalker. He's just continuing to work up his tech. You can see all the Protoss players more or less in the same position, but this was the kind of the ideal target to hit because he did go for that robo. So what Tempest is going to be doing is he's going to be dropping multiple pylons down and getting ready to start that warp in process. You can see already hurting the economy of Smackacheese by forcing him to pull guys off the line just to try to kill off this pylon. I'm going to be placing pylons around the board, and here I go at this exact same time. Going to be moving out with these Marauders. I also have all of the barracks rally to the Marauders, and you can see keeping that econ nice and low, making sure that I've got the constant production going down. And what's going to happen right now is Tempest already warping in those zealots, and even though he only killed a few workers right there, he was able to pull so many off the line. Now we can see Smackacheese has been assisted here by his buddy Tots, but the thing is, the Tempest, because he cut gas, he's got so many minerals that he can consistently warp in guys. You can see right now, going to be continuously going with that warp in, and more guys coming out at the exact same time. Here I am hitting from the front with those Marauders. Like I said, you want that continuous stream, keep them coming, keep that production constant as much as possible, and I'm going to just be trying to deny these probes from pushing out, but this is definitely going to be a very effective build. Realize that the dynamics of team games are so much different than that of the 1v1 games because of so many different factors. So again, just try to do what you can to make those complementary builds and try to exploit whatever matchup you're against, whatever matchup and races your opponents are. And this is just going to be way too much for them to handle. Smackacheese is obviously out of the game, and realizing that, taking a look here at the everyone tab, you can see that Tots didn't have much at all either. I'm going to actually go back just 10 seconds just so you can see exactly what he was sitting with. So he was going just for a regular old 4-gate, and those actually just finished right now. And I mean, this is basic, typical 4-gate timing. It's 6:30, they just finished, but he didn't even have those warp gates in for when we pushed, and he realized at that point that the game was pretty much over. So yeah, really effective here. If you're looking for the exact build order, you know, I've got the basic 3 racks build on the channel. I also have the basic 4-gate build on the channel. So this is going to be some good 2v2 tactics for you guys to try out. So anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this. Keep an eye out. There are going to be a ton more videos today. Again, I'm going to be trying to showcase some of the games that I played the other day. And yeah, I guess that about does it. If you like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Keep watching and keep owning. Down some of these buildings as well. We have this one Thor moving in, as well as a bunch of Marines. Marines is exactly what he needs, but dropping down a few of those, trying to take out that refinery. Unfortunately, doesn't get it before he's forced to push back. We do have a few Speedlings sitting up there and sticking. Look how heavy Muta he's going. Still continuously pumping out those Mutas. A level 2 upgrade, about halfway finished right now. He does have that 4th base up and starting to get that saturated right now as well. Trying to maintain control of the middle. He's got those Del Naga towers. He knows exactly what's going on. Finally starting to see a decent creep spread from him. Do want to see him spread